Hashtag let us go.
That is right. You are coming live to you from the dirty South Winston-Salem, North Carolina. How you doing tonight? Battery, yeah, Battery. The Cincinnati hat is from the picture I put in for him to do the AI. Was me wearing my Johnny Bench t-shirt and hat, Reds hat. So that's where that is from. Drake Baldwin, I do have a healthy Drake Baldwin collection started. I can tell you that. I'm excited to watch the young man play. How you doing tonight, Brian? We got Ty, Daniel 4619. Another passionate love the passionate collectors we have in here tonight. Try to pick up one of Baldwin's golden mirrors, the debut update card. Not even a real one. I think it went over $450. I would think was cheap for a Baldwin golden mirror. So I mean, that's one of those things where that's serious place. That is. Those gold mirrors are really hard to find right now, and at any. So if you have the money to grab it and it doesn't put you in a bind, do it. But if not, because the funny thing is that it won't hold. Here we go. We're going to talk about value for 1 second. If it's something that you got to move later, it's not going to hold right now, right? So that I don't have a Pete Alonso gold mirror. What's up, Hitman? Hitman, I did. If you're interested, you don't have to come on. I did put one in the group. If you got nothing going on, you're more than welcome. Paul, good evening to you, sir. Hopefully you're staying warm. Ty, really. Daniel 4619 liked my 6-7 comment yesterday with the young folks. And the one thing I just want to touch on before we go with my whole thing with the Beckett thing is like, if it affects you, I understand it sucks, but for me, it just doesn't affect me. I'm not a big Beckett fan. I need Michael to pull Baldwin Golden. Yeah. If it affects you, it sucks. If it doesn't, then it's just another day. I think SGC affected more people than Beckett. Beckett's niche is like Bowman and basket. I think the basketball guys, some of the people that came in when Beckett was real big was like before COVID, before the boom. The boom, PSA and the boom kind of all went together. Beckett's boom was before that. They didn't know what to do with it. So what's up, Doc? Doc. Joe's waiting on the special Beckett brought to you by PSA. So yeah, we have. I wish SGC had acquired Beckett a few years ago. Yeah, I just think PSA is going to do the same thing to Beckett as they do with SGC. They're going to make us not want to deal with them because they're just going to drive it into the ground. I got 5 living set cards sitting at SGC. The turnaround date was supposed to be 21 days, and it's not. It's been a month and a half now, and it's still sitting in received pile. It's just living set cards. They're easy. Give me my 9.5, and send them back to me. So they're just doing that to make us decide, and them to say, well, we're going to close SGC because it's just not making us money. It's a dead thing. So they're going to make us the bad guy and try to take the sting away from it. Just a little ploy. And they don't, they got the supplies. They can keep running till supplies last, right? That old moniker. And I think if any of y'all watched the Bobbles one, he hit it pretty much on the nose where like Beckett offers so much different things. The one thing I did notice was I read the letter, not the Ryan letter, but the chairman letter, um, talking about the issue is just as much like the employees. It takes away another place for them to get a job. So if they get blackballed by PSA, it's really now hard for them to go get another job in that field because they got CGC and that's about it unless they want to move to Canada. So that's what, where monopolies is more than just the purchasing side of things. It's also the employee side of it. Next year I'll be marketing 250-day turnaround mandatory upcharges. Yeah. So, we'll see what it is. I at the end of the day, people are still great with PSA. People still go buy PSA because buying the slabs on the secondary market, you might as well just go ahead and send them to PSA. You're keeping the prices up on the secondary market, so people are going to keep grading PSA. I'm going to keep grading PSA because it's leaving money on the table when you don't do it. I do want to, since this is a card channel, today I know I've been doing the shorts with the advent calendar. But I'm telling you now, if you find them on sale, unless it's they give you one and get one free, it's not worth it. I got the two foil cards were like buybacks with stamps on them, which was done, I don't know, 35th. I got a Mike Schmidt, which was pretty cool. I guess I don't know. I just thought it was. I have not got any. It was not a card with any color other than everyone has that stupid border thing. Looks like a sweater, but the actual boxes that you buy, or the value boxes or whatever, are actually pretty cool. And I hopefully you can see this. I pulled this out of 99. It's really hard to see, but the number is right there. Out of 99, Nick Kurtz, Big Amish, out of one of the boxes today. So really, really happy to see that. What year was the buyback? What year was it? I got it over in my stack of PC cards. So I do PC. I like Mike Schmidt. I don't go out and buy them per se, but I do when I get them. I hang on to them. I don't know off the top of my head, Eric. Like the Altuve, I got an Altuve one as well, which was like 2019 buyback, and it was in terrible shape. Also, I don't like the way the package, the way they put the packaging. So they put them in, and you got to take your thumb and kind of bend them down just a little bit to pop them out. And nothing about it has been fun. It was fun the first few. Now it's just I'm on the 21st day of the same thing. I don't even know if kids would enjoy it. And I know that's what this is for, but they put so much they done so many, this year they've gone crazy with all the different colors and stuff. So, to not have any of that in in this Advent calendar thing kind of sucks. For real. I think the ornament is a very good way to go. Just like the eggs. If you ever could run into the Easter eggs, I almost bought a cake or box of them. They were discounted on one of the Black Friday things. I hate to say cakes. It was a whole display thing of those Easter eggs. Because you're going to get some of the holiday one insert, but you also going to have other inserts there, and some of the harder to hit shorter print inserts, and I did well with those. I really enjoyed those. The packaging sucks. You just throw away a tin. You're paying for that. I mean, just give me a thick pack and give me the same thing. That's what she said. But that's I don't like the packaging. But it's just that's the way it is. And I rather have the tins with the players on them. They were cool when they came out those few years in a row. Upper Deck still does it with each series for hockey. But yeah, meant to ask earlier, but are the Orioles your AL? Yes, they've always been I've been an Orioles fan longer than I've been a Mets fan, actually. The Orioles was my home team. Like, when the cable first came out, before they had the game on every night, we had WDCA out of Washington, Baltimore channel in Central Virginia. So, Bullets, Caps. Man, I got to see Caps in their infancy. I really enjoyed watching them even then. And the Orioles. I remember very young. I like watching the very, very, very young. I remember watching the very young. First the Cal Ripkens, Pirates. My dad getting me out of school, things like that. Because my dad watches the Orioles every night home now, and that's why I've said in the past, I get upset because I get blacked out here for Orioles games, and I like watching the Orioles, especially with all those young guys on that team. But yeah, I've been to Memorial Stadium a few times. I saw Donnie Baseball play there with Wade Boggs, and seen Winfield there. Trying to think who else. An old Memorial now that had some character as a stadium. I know the first time I went with our, your Parks and Rec or whatever would have a trip. So we went, a lot of my friends and family friends and stuff went on a bus, the old beer and all that. So it was a lot of drunk adults. I was a kid, and all of us kids kind of hung out together, and we sat together at the stadium, and our seats were like right behind one of the girders. I'll never forget it. And you couldn't see the pop flies because of the overhang. And I mean, but that's what is all the character of those old ballparks, was great. So, when they ever get rid of Wrigley in Boston, that'll probably be, the it of that. I was bragging to someone that I saw Cal Ripken Jr. play in person at Oriole Park. My friend, everyone did. That's how he set the record. Yeah. I even saw him play shortstop. That's the thing. It's like I saw him actually play at shortstop before he went to third base. So back in the day, I used to love Earl Weaver too. So you got me going on the O's, but and I've said it before. The whole thing with the Mets is I've been a Gary Carter fan since he was on the baseball bunch with Johnny Bench. I used to watch it every Saturday, and I thought it was cool that it was baseball in another country that played, and just I was an Expos fan, and then went to the Mets when he. It's hard for me even at 14 when he got traded to really understand like how it worked and all that, still learning the all that part of the sport. But that's about it. Topps is hosting set builders with Heritage High Number. I did not pull one card. I saw you left that or two per box if you're lucky. Kurtz is a high. Yeah. That sucks. That when you posted that in our group chat, I was like, they've been doing so good with the retail, right? Like Myco today released one blaster of update baseball Chrome, and I've opened a couple of update Chromes myself. They're pricing $500 for a jumbo. Why? I don't care what the chase is. The hit possibility. Here's my point with the whole chase thing. Lottery tickets don't go up when a Powerball goes higher. They're the same price. With the logic we're having with the prices going up because of the chase in it, then the lottery tickets should go up as the lottery gets more, right? The buy-in should be higher, but it's not. And with the breaker culture we're in, they don't care. They don't care if not one of us gets a box of cards. They're still going to get sold. I don't want to come off as dollar bills, but the card you just showed comps are 120. This is where we are at, where 99 refractors cost 120 on the secondary market. If this was 2018 auto rookie card, but next year, like I said before, that card won't be that. It'll be somebody else. That's just because it's right now. That's all of them need their cases. Because Eric, what happens is even if like the ones that don't have the ends like Filthy Breaks and some of these other big ones, they'll still buy the $500 boxes at cost. They still make a killing because they don't care about the cards. They care about making the money. So if I buy a box, I don't want to break it for you. I want to break it for me. It's a terrible thing when Mike says, I bought boxes, but they're too expensive to open, so I got to sell them without open. That's sad. That is a sad day, and that's not what I want to talk about tonight, and that's kind of where I was at yesterday, and that's more of what I want to touch on next week, I guess, and some of my future plans. But this year, and people have been showing cards, and I might do that for Wednesday, get some cards out. I'll have to go back and look at some of my videos because I can't remember shit I bought this year. I think most of my better cards and cards that mean the most are from the National. I bought a few at the Philly show. I'm trying to think what I bought at any local shows this year. Even though I enjoyed myself at local shows because the value boxes were so good this year. And shows this year, yes, there's a lot of them. But if you are not hung up in the numbers and the colors and all that stuff, which I like too, I just showed it Nick Kurtz, which is going to stay in my PC because I like Nick Kurtz. That card's not going anywhere. I feel like, I've talked about it. We have these separation where you got the big cards in the cases. And if you're all right with going and looking in boxes, Hitman 23 style, then you'll be okay. You're fine. You are going to maximize what you can get. And I've been doing more and more of that because a lot of my PC that's where it's at. Yes, I like to get a rookie card of my player I like, but I am in the Brad mode now. I don't need a rookie autograph. I just want an autograph of that player. So I can wait the second, third year when I get one for $20-$30. I don't need the rookie one. The only one I like to have a rookie auto of is Pete Alonso and David Wright. Which I don't have a David Wright yet, but I have plenty of David Wright autos, which is fine with me. Ronald Acuna Jr. has won an MVP award, and I can get his short print cards cheaper today than I could 2 years ago. That's true because his injuries have kind of knocked him where people in the people that make the cards go up higher. This is something that we need to realize. Us everyday buyers don't make the prices go up higher. What makes the cards go up higher is when they start getting flipped back and forth between the guys, right? These shorter prints and autos and stuff like that. That gets that price, up. You got 4 or 5 quick sales, all people speculating. You get the first guy that puts it out in the market day one, he's going to get what he can for it. And then the next guy starts speculating. Then you get another speculator, and that card starts timing up because that's the new comp. Even though you got it, FOMO. And then the next guy, the new comp, and then all of a sudden you want to sell it to a dealer or reseller because none of us resell. So I want a T-shirt so bad to wear it to show saying I resell cards, so I'm only going to pay 70%. I feel like that's where we're at. So that, and then after the newness, the shiny gets rubbed off of it, and it's just another guy. Then next year it's going to be somebody else that they're more infatuated with. Who's the new guy? Then those cards fall down. So it's all right now. It's a patient. It's being patient. Yes, new cards hit the market, and that's the best time to buy them because everybody's trying to get that new stuff out. But if you're trying to save money and buy them at the low and not the high end, that's not now. It's not the way it was 10 years ago when I'm gonna spend $5. Now it's like the new stuff comes out, you better get your wallet out because it might cost a little. Next year, if he hits 40 home runs and steals 100 bases, I might be able to afford those cards. Like when Juan Soto went up, he should have never been so low at the beginning. Yeah, and it depends on parallels and stuff like that. It's just, and I've said this before, talking to Brad and Carlos and a few other people, and I've said it, I think, yesterday. We've turned into, it's not 1985 anymore, right? We don't just collect a base set. The base set is fun to put the set builders, get your player card or whatever that, or like me, I like to get the base rookie. I don't really care about color. I like to get the base rookies. But we collect the number cards. We collect this stuff now, right? I have Nick Kurtz in this base card, and it's with my Nick Kurtz rookies. Yeah, you said that, Daniel. JT, I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to. Of course, it's going to be different. Of course. What I'm waiting for is a Mark Cuban or somebody of that ilk comes along and says, I want to do a grading company. That's the only way things are going to change. If that's because I really think PSA knew Fanatics was sniff around SGC. And Fanatics had the money to put into and I think right now they're in bed with CGC, right? CGC's doing their authentication and on their Fanatics website. They are, doing all this stuff. They're tight in bed with them. So if Fanatics starts help financing them in some type of way, then PSA might get nervous. And I think that's why PSA is trying to buy up as much as they can, because to have all these different areas that CGC has to kind of go head to head. And that's just my thought on it, just what I'm seeing. And, you know, it's just when I saw CGC, you know, earlier this year, yeah, raising prices is not going to help though. I don't know. Are they raising prices again? I just think somebody with a lot of money, a billionaire or a multi high millionaire, comes out and goes just for shits and grins, wants to have fun, and go, I want to start a grading company. I think that's when people will go, huh? Because it seems like this hobby does not care about actual what people know, the background of people, the how well somebody does something. It's all about how much money you can possibly make and how fast you can make it. And this is where this hobby's gone to. And it's not. See, I didn't want to talk about this. That's what we're turning into. Really bad this year. It's really, yeah, nobody cares. None of these, they care about one thing here, and that's how much money goes in their pocket. That's it. And now they got the vintage guys talking about it. They got the modern guys talking about it. You can't see a post without, I opened up this pack of cards and my daughter opened it. I can't find a comp for it. And does anybody know how much it is? Not like, hey, look at this card. Doesn't it look good? You know, they want to troll and have a measuring contest by saying, hey, where can I get information on this card? And they know damn well that they know about the card. It's just a banger of a card. And they're trying to be smart and, hey, look at my Wii, and without having you say it. I think graded Hall of Fame base cards will be a thing in the future because they will be the only run you will be able to realistically complete. I still haven't finished my Freddie Freeman base. Yeah, if you're trying to run sets and rainbows, good luck, because the 5s, the 10s, the 25, they want to sit there. You know, I still think 10,000 cards is a low print run. When you start getting below that, it's ridiculous. So when I hit a 99, I think it's special until I see there's 15 other green 99s out there. So what does it even mean? What does it mean? Yes, it's kind of cool. I like it, but in the real reality, and it's not any different than the 150, other than there's a different color border. So we've been duped, and we're all feed me more. And the whole thing with grading, I'm not ever going to say it's a scam. I just think we kind of forget what it's about. And the new breed that's coming in, they were really drawn in to the shininess of the money, the fun, the thrills of flipping, which I get it, man. I get it. It's fun. It's fun to sit there and see how much money you can make, or take a small collection and see how big your collection can get. I get them. It's adrenaline, man. It's fun. I sell stuff. It is fun. Let's see. Topps did good making my holiday fun face SP card. They signed up the pedophile breakers because they had Kurtz on stream. See, I just, the breaking culture, when it came from, hey, let's have fun breaking, let's help each other get a case. You can't afford a case, but if we all pitch in and get a case, I'll make a couple of dollars for the stress of breaking it and mailing it out to all of y'all. But we'll all have fun and get cards to now it's a multi-million dollar thing. And that's what happens. Where the money is, and then it brings just more and more greed, which just breeds cheaters and scammers, and just how you get over on people to make even more money. That's why when somebody asked me, and I saw the Jeff Wilson quote, but I've had one of my friends say the same thing before. He don't even know who Jeff Wilson is. Why would PSA do that? Why would they take cards, grade them a 9, get them, buy them back, and then regrade them at a 10? Because to get more money, I do believe they would do that. Now, I don't know if that's something they do all the time. It looks bad, but nobody cares. The only people that cares are those few people. That's what I said yesterday. I love that I started a YouTube channel to see all these people over here, right on my screen. I love it. Got to meet these people. Some of these are very good friends of mine. People I can talk to in my Rolodex have the same interests as me. Most of the people that watch me are collectors like me. It's awesome. But damn it, it means I know too much about what the hell is going on in this hobby. Even you that watch, that don't even make videos, we know too much. If we were just the dummies that went to the card shop and just lived our lives as ignorant because we don't have the knowledge, we'd be happy. But we know. We've looked behind the curtain. I just, man, I love this hobby. And it has kept me out of some bad things. It's kept me sane. It's man, it was there when nothing else was there. And you know, and in the last 10 years of being around YouTube hobby, part of it has just went from here and just took me to the stratosphere, man. And you know, I know some people are making guesses on what I want to talk about. I'm not going anywhere. I love this. I love my community. I always say it's not my community. This community I'm in, I put it to, I am Mike O, part of Mike O's extended, right? I think a part of Ed Westergriff's extended. They are the guys before me that it kind of helped me. You know, I got to meet, because of them, you know, met Eric, I met Hitman, I've met my guy Fabian, who's just awesome. All the misfits, like all of, I wouldn't be known without all those guys at all. I still have, you know, me and 16 guys chatting. So, you know, that's where I'm at. Let me catch up here. Let's see. I got a ha. Okay, here we go. Those back pages just raised the price. Well, they're already there. What are your thoughts on the Winnie the Pooh Topps Chrome? I got the notification today from my friend Wesker Griff. Yeah, that's awesome. I am glad somebody got it, and I didn't even know it was a thing. And I have a shelf full of Winnie the Pooh cards, so I got mine. I got my Winnie the Pooh. Right there. That's one of them. I got 4 or 5 more other stuff. I'm pissed that I can't find a 2020 Top Sapphire Michael Soroka purple refractor. Probably a $5 card. Can't find it. Well, see, that's the one problem. As further you get away, those types of cards. Yes, probably when that card came out, it was probably a $150 card, and you're probably correct. It's a $5 card today, but the The downside is it's hard to find. And hey, Carlisle, listen to Hitman. Hitman's been on a 10-year quest to find 5 different cards. He found one, and I'm so happy for the man. You know, I am so happy for him. 10s are tough. Yeah, anything. Broccoli heads, don't forget the broccoli heads. Yeah, Hitman, down here, we don't have the broccoli heads. And if y'all are trying to figure out what broccoli, I think most people know who they are. The young men, they got the puffy hair. They wear the short, you know. Down here, I call them the Paul Skeens look. They got the little mustache, tight golf shorts with the golf hat, walking around. They just don't have a Livy Dunn on their arm. They usually 3 or 4 dudes carrying their little things. Cards and music. Yeah, music is I've been getting back into my grunge here lately, and yeah, I miss my 90s music, early 2000s. If you start talking about the C3PO era card, it's going to get weird. Yeah, I do not have one of those. I almost picked one up the year before last at the National. It's just hard for me to pay that much for that card. It's iconic as it is. It's kind of hard for me to do that. But I just, since you mentioned it, I would talk about it. But yeah, back to this year. Great. I went to the Philly show. I went to the National. A lot of local shows, our local area here. Also, outside of sports cards, I went to my first video convention, video game convention. I went to several. I went to 2 this year. I went to actually the biggest one on the East Coast, and I can tell you right now, what they consider big is the Philly show, right? I don't even know if it was that big. Probably more of the Northern Virginia show, CSA show. CSA is not as big as the Philly show, even though it's very similar but not as big. Imagine a card of Billy Ripkenhall, the C3PO rod. So, and it was funny. They didn't know how to manage the crowd. Like I bought so I'm thinking what I know, right? I know card shows. So I bought a little 3-day, get in early. And they had us all waiting in line up to the last minute, like outside, not in the convention hall, like in with the normies, right? I was like, but wait a minute, why am I waiting in this? So I just went off and sat down. I'm not going to wait in line. And then the next day they had it better set up and a little bit better. So it's called Surge. It's South Carolina, Greenville, not South Carolina. So I just know it's 110 degrees when I went there. But it was a nice area. When I got into the up part of town, so that was cool. I went to one in Raleigh that was pretty big. Yeah, how dare I was just used to doing, I'm used to whatever, but that bad a rod. I have and then I got back into my love. No, they don't talk funny. It's just like a little bit more deep Southern. They don't have quite the I think we have more of a draw up in here. If you go to country North Carolina, there is a really deep draw. No, it's a little too early. You got to get to the first of the year for the National. I'm going to talk more about the National because I have some thoughts on that as well for this year. I don't feel like the excitement is there amongst the community as we had 5 years ago. When they shut it down for COVID, it was almost like a death in the family. I think if they shut it down now in the community, Now, just the community. I'm not talking about people outside. I don't know if it was hit it hard. If everything else was still open, and for whatever reason, the National got flooded, or this place or whatever. Yeah, the community definitely wants drama. Um, but with all the other shows we have now, like for a lot of this community, Strongsville is going to be the new National, the way it sounds. So I mean, I was interested to see last year, and I'm really interested to see this year, just because of the way how last year went. It's nothing. It's a lot of people there, and I don't think that's for everyone. Now, I moved around just fine. I just stayed. There was always area. Well, I got a thought about that too, Eric. So the people that run Strongsville like money. They already had a little bit of Pokemon there last year. They had a table or two of modern cards. How they're going to probably go to a bigger place. I know that's being thrown around. So you got to get more tables. And when you do more tables, what comes with that is you kind of open the door for anything and everything to come in. So I don't know how long, and I think it's a great idea to have it. So people that have that need, just like when they have down here, TCG shows are really big now. They got like 4 or 5 now, just TCG. Oh, they would. Well, Eric, I don't think you went last year, but they had Pokemon, but none of those guys showed a Pokemon table there. There was a few, from my understanding, there was a couple of Pokemon tables there. Yeah, there is a Chantilly show. That is the CSA. I feel like more people are talking about going to Chantilly or Philly rather than that. Yeah, because it's more accessible. It's cheaper. I went to the Philly show, and I stayed 5 minutes away from where the show was last year, and it was, yes, it's not a lot of parking. Not enough parking. They got a lot of parking. It's just not enough. The show's outgrown the parking lot. Chantilly, no, Chantilly didn't close down. CSA's still going. It's not in the IKEA. It's in a old I don't know, it's a old department store. I don't think it was like Walmart or anything. It's like, I don't know if it was like an old Home Depot. I don't know, and they made it into a convention center. It's right there at Dulles Airport, and that's another place. Plenty of places to stay at. They got a lot of parking, lot of places to eat at within walking distance. There's a Walmart right in the parking lot. One of those popular Virginia shows ended. I'm trying to think. But Chantilly's the biggest one. I could have swore I saw CSA sit out. You got to be careful when you look up CSA, because you might not get what you're really looking for. I never first time I ever saw that, I did not like that. Oh, there you go. You're correct, Eric. Should not have doubted you 1 cent. It said, "Thank you, Dulles Expo." I guess the Dulles Expo has shut down, probably. They're trying to find a new location, which I wouldn't think that would be hard to. I mean, they probably got it for cheap. Um, and so yeah, I wonder what happened there. Need to get with Bobbles. Pending location change. The Dallas Expo Center has been sold, so we're currently working to secure a new show location. There you go. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, because IKEA bought the building. Well, I'm sure they're going to tear it down because it's not big enough to be an IKEA, unless it's their small IKEAs. The one that's in Charlotte is freaking humongous. I got lost in it. I was following the arrows and everything. I just wanted to buy my shit and get out. I was over in the food court. I was everywhere but where I needed to check it. I just like wanted to get the hell out of there. It's like, is it a shortcut? Can I skip the line? Can I get the fast travel? What do I do here? It was the first time I've ever been in one. So I was like, I don't want to buy any of your Swedish meatballs. I just want to get some bookcases. These, I got two of those. I was like, that's all I want. I just need to get the hell out of here. I was in some bedroom. I didn't know what I was. I was like, what the hell is this? You know, I never been into one. That was my first time. So it was like, I thought I was in Switzerland by the time I got out of there. But yeah, we need a Mike O show. Philly cards only. I still have some Dale Murphy cards to pick up. Yeah. But so the same people that run the Philly show do the CESA show. It's the same, and I guess they're the same group that's doing the national now too, to my understanding. I want to see the Big Scott IKEA point of view. And it wasn't even mad. I was just I wandered off the yellow brick road. That was my first mistake, to go look at some cabinets that I'll probably get for my new place that'll hold my cards. And I was like, was it here? Was it over there? I didn't know. I didn't know if I got a basket. I didn't know what to do. There was no directions. I think at one time I could have got on a log fume ride. I didn't know what was going on. It was very, very aggravating. But a couple of things I want to touch on. Very good year for my pickups. I added some Mickey Cochrans, some Campanellas. Nothing big, just some nice ones. Got some very nice Johnny Bench stuff from my collection. My Yogis. I picked up a few Yogis this year, including my first ever Red Man with tab. So I was very happy with that, to add not only a Yogi Berra, but my first of that. I didn't have one. So I think this is some stuff I'll probably be showing because I don't have anything to show for the Wednesday show. So I think that'd be some cool to show. So like I'm gonna bite a little bit off of Hitman, and Hitman did some of his favorite cards of the year. I've been watching some. I don't care about value. So when people are showing me their top 50 cards for value in their collection, it doesn't really move my needle. For me personally, it just doesn't. Because it tends to be the same cards that I've seen other, just it's the same ones, and a lot of times it's very hollow to me because you just have them because of the expense. I don't know how it speaks to you other than that. Like that's always been my question with people that only do I only do this one thing. So it's kind of hard for me to do that. What does me and Richie Ashburn have in common? We both smoke tobacco pipe every now and then. Okay. So yeah, I added to my collections. Continue to stay focused this year. This is probably my best year of being focused in my hobby. that I've ever been before. Now people are good, but you collect everything and anything. But no, I don't. You should have saw what I collected before. I do have a rolling like list of where things fall in my PC order, and they do move. It's a sliding. What's important to me today might change tomorrow. It's just how I feel that day. It's my rules, my hobby. That's what I said yesterday. This is one of these. This hobby is a personal hobby, and you know, I think that the journey is part of the fun, right? It does suck when you lose money. It does suck when you make a bad decision. But the thing is like that's the biggest things we learn in life is from our failures, not our wins. God, it's fun to win. But man, do we learn so much from our failures to win. And I wish nobody had to lose money, or everybody pulled a 10 out of their packs and got 10s from PSA, and we had 50 different grading companies and we only had to pay $2 to grade. And God, I wish we had all that, but we don't. And we you know what we do? We just adapt. We adapt. We know right now we have tiers to this thing now, and you got to figure out what tier you're in. Where is your money lie? I've seen videos where people think people spend $5,000 a month on cards. I don't know who the hell those are, but God bless them. I'm not there. I tell you, I have a $5 limit, and I bought I bought a blaster the other day, so I couldn't. And the way I'm doing it is I can't buy nothing until Tuesday. Well, something popped up today or last week. I forgot I had that. I put a bid in on a chrome black auto for Pete Alonso that I might have won already. I don't know. I haven't. My notifications for eBay are very hit or miss right now. I don't really know what's going on with that. But 2 hours left, and I'm doing very well on it. So, and if I win that, then that'll push the needle till Wednesday, Thursday. 2 weeks, wherever it's at. I have a calendar. I'm right when I can buy something else, because I'm going to stay strict to that. I'm going to talk more about that next week. The more important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle. Yeah, exactly. My hobby is an expense, not an investment. Yeah, yes. Do you listen to music and say, I can't wait until the song is over? No. Yeah, I'll change the song if I think that. But yeah, Wesker Griff put a list on Facebook today. I wish he would do a video listing his favorite concerts today that he in order 1 through 15. He's gone, I don't know how many concerts this year. I like to hear because collecting is in our nature, so we're a little obsessive with anything that we do. So with he loves to go to concerts, so he's a little obsessive with that. Me, it's I sold a lot of Stormtrooper. I didn't start a Star Wars stuff. Kept my Stormtrooper and some other stuff that really I like for Star Wars, but just some of the stuff I just had, I just got rid of it. I don't have. First off, I need the space. I'm moving, so I always got to keep all of that in mind. But I'm trying to think some other accomplishments for me personally this year was downsizing, staying focused, knowing what's important to me and only to me, and not worry about what other people think is telling me that's important. And my hobby is my extension of my fandom. I've been saying that all along. So, oh, wait a minute. We got 3 or 4 minutes, and we got Ed. I spoke his name, and he came about. What's up, Ed?
How you doing, Scott?
All right.
Sorry for joining late, but figured
I'd
I'd hop on for a couple minutes.
Well, I was just telling the class here that you made a very interesting list on Facebook for concerts that you went to this year.
Oh, yes, I like to do that every year. I
Okay.
just normally do like a top 15 or a top 20.
Do you know how many concerts you went to this year?
18.
Oh, okay. I could have swore it was more than that, but
It's
like I said,
that's
go ahead.
typically low for me.
Well, I said, we are, as collectors, we're an obsessive group with whatever we do. So you obsessively you like your live shows, and no Vegas trips on this year. Huh?
No, just the national.
Okay.
That was the only time I traveled really like any far.
Right. Yeah. So
and the Philly show was last week.
Oh, so Brendan and Ryan wonder how long the TCG boom is going. I was listening to people thinking that it's dying out. People, and I actually watch TCG videos now because, my God, they hate flippers, and it's funny to watch. They hate outsiders coming in, and if you don't know your shit, they're going to make fun of you.
Well, remember that big brouhaha we had in the chat a while back in our group chat where I made the claim that the TCG crowd, there's more collectors in that space than the sports card crowd? And like we really got, me and Mike O kind of got into it. Remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Well, when you look at the gym rate thing right now, there's more TCG cards getting graded than sports cards. When you look at how many cards are getting graded at this book.
Yeah, it's a ton.
So, and then when I go to shows here, which is nice to hear, established shows like Philly and things like that, where people have been there forever, the same dealers, it's hard for new blood to get into it. So you're not going to see as much TCG as you would at local shows that are trying to get bigger, where they're just going to allow anybody in, right? So around here, TCG is bigger at most shows than sports cards. It's just because they want the shows to get bigger, and that's how they don't care. They just want the money. So, and they do very well. It's not like nobody's coming. The last show I went to, the TCG side was bumping, with so much energy. And the sports side was dead. It was like an old folks home. But I had fun. I got good deals because of it. How certain that Mike O's pretending to be Westgate? Yeah, I've never seen them both in one place. Where were any of the concerts this year a biblical experience?
That's a reference that Mr. Doc is making.
Oh, okay.
That's an Oasis reference.
Oh, okay. I never been a big Oasis fan. Listen to their music. Never bought anything or sat down and go, I need to listen to Oasis today.
I will say though, Scott, like they, for the Philly show, they made a big deal about there being 1,000 tables and expanding the TCG zone in the back there.
Right.
It really didn't feel like it. There was 1,000 tables there, but I didn't really see more TCG than the last couple shows I've been to. So I don't know if it was all TCG that they added. It might have been sports cards as well.
Right.
But there's definitely been some mix matching of the dealers, because a couple dealers that we bought from specifically haven't been at the last couple Philly shows, and there's been a lot of newer dealers that I've seen for the first time.
No, they never caught me. I walked out with a smile on my face, Rick. I told you that. I think there's water on the floor in the bathroom. What's a Blur? Blur was out of a group.
Yeah, that was another band from the 90s.
Okay,
British
I
band
love
who
my
feuded.
'90s, but
They feuded with Oasis a lot. There was a rivalry
okay,
there.
I listened to a lot of grunge, alt rock, rap music. Uh, and I went to a lot of my share of raves, believe it or not. So if you want to picture, Paul, if you want to picture me at a rave, go right ahead. FYI, I learned 52 tops were never dumped in the Hudson Atlantic Ocean. The not sure about Charizard.
I've had old Philly dealers tell me that the 52 tops was indeed dumped in the Hudson. I've
I
had that.
look,
There's this one dealer in particular. I We dubbed him Vietnam vet guy, and it's a shame because he's like really really up there, and he does the Trevo show. He doesn't do the Philly show anymore, but he does the Trevo show, and this gentleman is to the point where he gets to the show an hour early, and it'll be the show's till 3 o'clock, and he's still not set up. Like he still can't get all the cards in because he's just like he wants to do it himself. He wants to set up himself. He doesn't want people helping him, and he's so old and slow that he can't get the cards out.
right.
It's kind of sad. But that man's a treasure trove of stories and good knowledge of hobby history. So I always make it a point to stop by and talk to him.
Right. Yeah. So this year, like upside of this year, Ed, did you like? I know you're not like me and you. I think we're kind of similar. So we don't really set goals or anything like that. But you know, that DeLong you got back from Mike, awesome card. Congratulations on that. The cards I got graded for you. You did very well. Those discs,
The Japanese Menkos, yeah.
yeah, very. I was very impressed. So you know, but for you, like, you have anything that right off the top of your head, like really for the hobby wise?
Nothing really specific. No, for 2026.
Yeah,
I'm not the kind of person that likes to really set particular goals.
yeah, me neither.
I mean, I try to do certain things, but I cast such a wide net that like anything can really appeal to me. But I try not to be like dogmatic and have like a specific thing I want to do for a year. Because then if you don't accomplish it, it's disappointed.
Well, and my thing is like I'm so goal oriented at work or my and other place. I want my hobby. I want to be loosey goosey with my hobby. I want to. I my focus before you came on. My focus this year has probably been my best. I want to really continue that. I want to sit. And the thing is I'm not going to turn down a card because doesn't fit this X, Y, and Z. If it's something I like, and I want to buy it, I want to buy it, right? Because then it does fit my hobby because it's my hobby. But my overall focus has really been strong this year.
There's always a million things like though that you can buy in this hobby. Like
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. There's so much stuff that you can buy or pivot towards or
Well,
collect. And like I am not like this happened at the Philly show as well. Like I felt a lot of the cards were grossly overpriced. And even cards I'm trying to buy on the secondary market, like on eBay or any other avenue, like I feel like a lot of the prices on some of the stuff I'm going after is very high. So I'm just being patient, staying in my lane. And if it happens, it happens. If not, I'll find something else to buy because there's always going to be something else.
Right. And I mean, one thing that we've learned kind of this year, you got a couple of Game of Thrones autos you've been waiting for. Our man Hitman got something that he's been looking for 10 years. I got a card that I've been looking for since 2019, thanks to you and you know, from the national. But you know, the patience thing, you just got to kind of. Yes, it's easier to get it when it first comes out, but a lot of times the price just doesn't make sense. I've been preaching that with WNBA stuff, like just kind of wait, and
I love
if they go on strike, it's stuff's
that. I think that's pretty imminent. They're
Right.
definitely going for a
And the same thing with baseball. Baseball goes on strike in 2027. There's going to be some dumping going on, I think. My biggest fear with cards is like these new people. I just hope they put them out take the time to put them on the market. Just don't throw them in a closet or worse. So that's my biggest fear. Because these people don't have the same love that we all have. Or even the people in the 90s that felt like they got burnt because of the overproduction of cards, which I'm tired of hearing. My daughter's home from college, and we're about to see Airplane. We've already watched all the Christmas. You watched Die Hard? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that point I like to bring up, like, how many people are collecting? It is a legitimate concern because whenever I go to a card show or whenever I'm on the social media side of the hobby, you just see it feels like more and more people are monetizing their hobby and it's more of a business for them now. And like when I went to the Philly show this weekend, it was equal numbers of people buying and selling. But you see all these interactions when you go to card shows, and this is why it's awesome to go to any kind of card show because you kind of get a sense of your local hobby. And the Philly show is definitely probably one of the largest regional shows. So you see so many different dealer customer interactions. And man, you hear in some of these negotiations, like people are fighting over the most minuscule percentages. And it's just like, is this person really collecting or
well, that's
like,
dude, that's we talked about it in our group chat. Like even on low ball stuff we're selling, we're getting these ridiculous like where people are asking for a quarter off, like 25 cents. And I'm like, are you really that serious? And then on the other side of my that serious, not going to take it. Like it's 25 cents. So it's like it's some ridiculous stuff going on right now. Hodges, just to let you know, Caitlin Clark rookie for me, Prism. That's her first like in action wearing a Fever jersey card. It is probably Select is not bad either. But which one do you think for Caitlin Clark if you're going to get a Caitlin Clark rookie?
either get the Prism or the Select.
Yeah, I feel either one of those. It's
you can't go Hodges. If you want to get one, get it either a CGC, SGC, or a PSA 9 Prism. You'll be able to pick one up for around like $30-$40.
Yeah.
Already graded.
Yep, the base one, and just it's in her the first action. They have one in Donruss, but it's just a portrait picture. The other one is just her holding up the jersey, which is the true rookie of that sex comes first.
And then I believe the blue, if you want like a parallel version of the card, you can get like the blue Pulsar, which is one per pack in the blasters. So those were only in blaster boxes, and you get one per pack. So just do the odds there on the number of cards. Or you could do the cracked dice, which I believe is also one per blaster. I could be wrong about that.
I think those are going like even in a 9, they're like 140.
That's the one I picked up at the Philly show. I bought the 9 of the cracked dice. So I know that one up.
Yeah, so
and I paid $85.
Yeah, that's a good price. Well, like I said, she didn't play last year, so she didn't play a lot last year. So, but anyway, yeah, Hodges, I hope that helped you. And I've opened up a lot of Donruss this year. I was looking for Prism yesterday. I wanted to open up some out in the wild. I didn't have any luck. So, but I can find Donruss now pretty easy. So, and
I have
didn't
yet to find any in the wild.
I have not seen a
any.
Caitlin Clark book either. You have not seen any Donruss in the wild?
I haven't. No, not around here.
I even went to Costco to see if they had any of the boxes left, collector's boxes. Plenty of.
It's a solid rookie class. So.
Yeah, well, you have. Well, I don't know.
It is funny though how
two very good rookies.
A lot of people will dunk on it, but man, those boxes are getting snatched up.
That's what I said. I go for a product for a sport that everybody hates. You can't find it. I can find Topps Update Baseball. I can find Series 2. Topps Chrome Update, not so much. And Archives. Archives has been. I like Archives this year.
Update I haven't been able to find. Topps Update. I can't find that anywhere around here. And it's sold out on most of the websites like Target.
Really?
For the Blasters.
Really? Oh. But anyway. Well, Ed, I thank you for coming on. I want to thank everybody for sticking around, listening to me. Tonight, I went in some areas I really kind of didn't want to go into, but, I'm glad I did. Because it's kind of how I feel. Yesterday, I talked about it. Go ahead, Ed.
Not to interrupt you. One thing I forgot to mention this. When I was at the Philly show on Saturday, dealers were very, very aggressively buying.
Right.
And I got asked by 15 different dealer tables that I walked up to if I was selling anything. Now, I didn't have a backpack. I didn't have any cases or anything. I was just walking around with my jacket. So it didn't even look like I had cards on me. But
here's my question.
Ed. Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously they need inventory. But why are they begging to get inventory so bad? Is most of the inventory getting sold by people on eBay? And for just regular people, not dealers, and the people that do shows can't get the product because the people on eBay ain't gonna sell it for 70%. So is it just tougher for dealers to get this product?
I think they're just doing so good at the show, and there was so many dealers that had half-filled showcases that they were just trying to get inventory. They want to see what people were selling for. And also, I say it all the time about card shows, that's why you're seeing the explosion across the hobby and the country of these card shows, because it gives people an avenue to sell the cards, not online, and with the desirability of doing that in person, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Cash is king. No taxes, no paper trail. But I had 15 different dealers ask me if I was selling anything, and I just kept saying no. And the dealer would just be like, okay. But the last guy, he asked me, and I said, man, everyone is asking me that. I just made a comment off the cuff. I said, everyone is asking me that to every table I come up to. And the dealer said, well, everyone sells nowadays. And I said to him, oh, I'm a collector. I said my old cliche, I'm a collector, son. I just collect. And he looked at me like he was looking at a unicorn. He's like, oh, I respect that, but does anyone really do that nowadays? That's what he said. Does anyone do that nowadays?
It's tough.
Just collect.
It's tough. And I am the...
And when he said it, I was just laughing.
So I got a huge collection, and I've gotten rid of probably a third of it. I'm working on it now, and I'm slow rolling. I could probably box it up, make a phone call to our favorite guy, and sell it all if I wanted to. But, I kind of want, I'm having fun. As much as I get sometimes I want to strangle some of the people. Somehow,
Some of the
post office,
messages I say are
huh?
pretty bad. Some of the messages shared in our chat are pretty bad.
Right. So I did. I have 4 or 5 envelopes got lost by United States Postal Service, so I've had to give some refunds. Luckily, ain't none of them been more than a couple of bucks. It's not a big deal, but you know, it's just little aggravating things for something. I just got to make sure, like, I only devote an hour or so a day to it because it's not worth my time. If it starts being more than that, I just can't do it. I'll just have to do something else. Tell people you're a collector and they look at you, you're a mythical being. Yeah. I mean, even today when you say you're a collector, you're still doing some selling. You're still, it's. Yeah, I never did until 2 years ago. I sold my first thing. This year was the first time I sold to a dealer. Was this year. So
I like to bring up those interactions though, because I just feel it's interesting to point out the culture kind of the hobby in 2025. Whereas, there's nothing wrong with selling or moving cards that no longer fit your collection or selling off stuff to maybe get a more expensive card that might be above your means, and this is the way you can do it. But I will say it is concern, and I've voiced this a couple times on your channel. It is concerning that we don't see more traditional collector values, I guess, so to speak, in 2025. It just seems like everyone is selling now and is motivated to sell.
Or they're so worried about what the value that they have of a card they already have in their collection. Like, the value thing now is just driving me up the fucking wall. So, to me, yes, you got to get value out of a pack or a box or whatever you buy, or it's not worth buying it. But when that's all you're going for, I am not buying a box of Topps Update. It's just not going to happen.
Too expensive.
And when our friend Mike O says he bought 2 jumbos and can't open either one, he's got to sell them sealed. What the hell are you buying? It still drives me crazy that's what you got to do with wax to because as soon as you open it, you lose money, and to me that's just not a good feeling, like a good thing. But that's where we're at. So
that's why we need a correction.
We do need a correction.
We need a major correction.
That. And I don't know what's got to happen. The stuff that PSA has done in the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and there's still people ringing their bell and people still buying. So to me, I feel like I have to grade. If I'm going to sell stuff and get the most out of it, and if I'm going to grade it, I'm going to grade PSA. Now, for stuff that I know for my non-sports stuff, I get CGC. But I got burnt doing CGC with sports stuff, ended up wanting to sell it. I can't even get what it's worth on the secondary market because people care about what the fucking flip says. Excuse my language.
No, it's true though.
But, even though we know CGC is way tougher grader than PSA. So you get a 10 out of CGC, it's a 10.
Yes, I agree with that.
So it just drives me bonkers. And I'll leave it at that. That's going to be
CGC is the more accurate grader.
It is.
I'll say at this point.
I showed you a card. I showed a card last week for PSA that I got a 10. And on the back, it was no way it was a 10. When I flipped it over and how all-centered it was no way it was a 10. It was all-centered on the front, but I gave it, it was a little, but it was noticeable by the eye. So to me, it wasn't even on the front, but the back was really bad.
PSA, you're not getting, if you're sending cards in for grading, especially anything modern or ultra-modern, they're going to look at that for like 10 seconds. So,
right.
I mean, you're not going to get an accurate assessment.
And it's going to be some junior grader.
And then if you're sending in a $100 card, if you're going to send in a 2 comma card, boy, that ain't going to get the highest grade possible because
They want to buy it back.
because of reasons. Allegedly. Come on, man. We know.
Look, man.
Corruption,
Yes.
all that. We all
Well,
know. It's the same
money
old
breeds
shit.
it. Money breeds it.
Same old
So,
shit. Nothing new here.
We're going to end it on that, on a high note. I will talk to all y'all tomorrow night. Me and my dad talking baseball. We got some stuff to talk about. A few Asian signings this weekend, which will probably move a lot of people. Probably get some bigger signings from American free agents probably before the end of the year because of those two signings.
White Sox.
White Sox. Stay tuned for that tomorrow night. And that'll be live as well. Come on by, have a chat with us. Hit my dad up with some questions. He loves that shit. And until then, like, share. Welcome to my new subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't. Doesn't cost you anything. And until next time, see ya.
See ya.